Hello guys, this is Sibyl for my tarot advisor, and well, happy new year to all of you. Today I am going to do a quick tarot scope for 2019 that will give you a brief forecast of the energy that will favor your design and what your energy will be better invested on, a bit of insight on things to go for or perhaps things to avoid depending on what cards are coming up. And for this I am going to use the Dark Mansion Tarot, which is a deck I recently acquired and I am so very in love with, and I really hope that you all enjoy it. So let's get started. I have been shuffling a bit before starting the video, so this wouldn't be too long and boring. Okay, and one more. Here we go. So starting with Aries, this is the Queen of Cups for the Arians, and what this card is telling me is that for you Aries, this is a year to focus on your emotions, on nurturing the things that bring you feelings of fulfillment, emotional joy, putting your energy on those things that make your soul vibe and that you really feel joyous about doing, that you feel fulfilled about doing. This can be relationships, romantic or otherwise, but also vocational careers, your hobbies, the things that you do because they make you feel better about yourself, about who you are, as well being kinder to yourself. I see that this is going to be a year of emotional work for you all, and it is going to be something really great for you to, a really great moment for you to explore this area. Okay, now moving on with Taurus, we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords can be a bit of a tricky energy because it is calling you, Taurus, to express yourselves and to speak about what you are feeling, about opening up and sharing the truth, or what you believe at least to be the truth, how you feel, what you think, communicate. But the Knight of Swords can be a bit harsh, and it is also trying to help you define how can you better communicate with others, or how can you better convey your needs, your desires, your thoughts, your ideas, whatever, but doing it in a way that doesn't crush others along the way. Okay, so it is about setting boundaries as well, about learning the importance of your own thoughts and ideas and needs, but at the same time, creating a respectful boundaries or limits for others to not trespass, but at the same way without crushing others. Okay, so focus on focus on honesty more than anything else, on being honest with yourself, on being honest with others, and being or losing the fear to communicate what you need, what you feel, what you want. Do not expect others to know what your needs are or what your feelings are, and lose all fear that is related to communicating what you are or who you are. So now for Gemini, we have the Two of Swords. As you can see in the Two of Swords, this card is showing a blindfolded lady, okay, that is crossing her arms right before her heart chakra. And what this is telling us is that it is perhaps time to focus on finding the truth, on getting rid of those things of your life that are not working anymore, and those things that are a weight or that you don't really want to see or to acknowledge, that are not working anymore for you. Perhaps it is also, calling you to evaluate the things that you have in your life and how you truly feel about it, or say you are in a relationship where you do not feel valued. To what extent are you in a relationship if the other part is not doing their job? Same happens with career. If you do not feel valued, are you hoping for things to change? Are you hoping for things to just magically resolve? Are you blindfolding yourself to the truth? This is the sort of thing that you can evaluate in your life and take action to change if you are not happy with them. Okay? Now, Cancers, this is the King of Swords for you. And the King of Swords speaks of mastery of your mind, of your intellect, of your reason as well. It is also a card that I relate a lot to career, to intellectual success, um, to creativity in a productive way. Okay, so there is the creativity of water, the creativity of cups that comes from your heart, and there is this practical creativity, this wit, more than creativity, I would say wit, that is associated with the King of Swords. And this is calling you to take control of your mind, to take control of your ideas, to put them to work. If you have been having an idea for a long time and you have been perhaps postponing a project because you are scared that you may not succeed, or you are saying, yeah, when I have this and this and this other thing, I perhaps can do this thing that I desire. It is time for you to put your ideas to work for you and stop procrastinating or postponing or waiting for other things to happen before you go for it. Continuing with Leo, this is the Lovers. Okay, and it is a year of choices for the Leos, and you may find yourself in situations when you have to choose a passion, or between a passion and something that is more sensible or more stable. And you will be put in those situations when you really have to decide what is that you want more and what is that you want over something else, even if it's risky, or perhaps whether you should take the thing that is safe over another thing that you are passionate about but is not working. So this is this sort of challenge and this sort of lesson in this year for the Leos. And as well, it is a good moment for partnerships in general, particularly for those that are of a romantic nature or of a business nature. And well, this is basically what I can say about the energy of the Lovers for the Leos. Great moment for you to be in partnership, but at the same time, it is a moment to weigh your choices, weigh your options, and make decisions that are truly in alignment with what you desire for in the long run, particularly. Okay, because since this is a major arcana, what it's telling me is that the choices and decisions that you make this year are going to have an impact and are going to be important for your life in the future. Okay. So now Virgo, and Virgo is the Ten of Pentacles, and I really like, this is one of my favorite cards actually, and the Ten of Pentacles is a card about not just achievement, because it's more of a card that celebrates achievement, but it also focuses on preserving what you have achieved so far. And this is something really important. It is count your blessings, do what needs to be done to preserve how far you have come. So perhaps this is not the year to aim higher or to aim for more, but to take the steps that need to be taken in order to keep and maintain what you already have. So perhaps this is spend time with your family, or do what you need to do in order to make sure that your business continues doing well. Pay attention to your marriage or your relationship so you can ensure that it is working properly and will continue to do so. This is a bit of, be aware of the good things that you have in your life and take the necessary steps that will allow you to preserve them in the future. Now for Libra, this is Strength, and this is also a major arcana, and what this card is telling me for the Libras is that this is a year for you to compromise, for you to find ways to do the things that you want to do, even if the circumstances around you are not the best. So it is a card that calls you to say, okay, what is essential, what is not essential, what I can do without, what do I need to know in order to continue my progress, in order to move forward, and what are the things that are non-negotiable, and what are the other things that I am ready to give up on in order to make progress in my life. And this applies to life decisions, this applies to relationships. Perhaps there are things that you are trying to push and really they don't belong in there, and you are trying to force them. And strength is not a card about physical strength. It's not a card about forcing something into your life, forcing something into existence. It is a card about you know, trust in the process, but at the same time being perhaps more adaptable. Yeah, adaptable could be a great word here. Be adaptable when it comes to the situation, the circumstances, what you have and what you can do from there. Continuing for Scorpio, this is the Three of Pentacles. And well, the Three of Pentacles is a card that very quickly speaks to me about study, about you know, gaining knowledge, gaining mastery over something. So one of the first thing that comes to my mind when I see a Three of Pentacles is that this is a great time for you, Scorpios, if you are thinking about doing something that relates to furthering your knowledge in any area, if you want to go back to study or perhaps to continue studying, to do something that will help you gain more experience or more reputation, or just a deeper or bigger or wider knowledge of an area, and that will help you progress in your career, for instance. But as well, this is a card about working together with someone else, about teaming up. So this can also apply to relationships, to career, to friendships, whatever you want. Team up with others in order to create something bigger, in order to create something stronger. Count on those people around you, and do not only focus on what you can do, but the bigger things that you can do if someone else is supporting you. So continuing for Sagittarius, this is the Three of Swords. And this can be a card, that the sort of card that one says and sees, and all in a sudden they freak out. And it is true that the Three of Swords brings disappointment, but it also brings clarity in your life. It also shows you the truth. So perhaps this is going to be for you a year that is a bit rough on the emotional side, or that brings you some disappointment, but at the same time clears the way and clears the things that you no longer need in your life in order to progress. So even though it can be a difficult process, a bit of a harsh process, but the things in your life that are not working anymore, or the things in your life that prove not to be valid for you, or not to be of use for you anymore, and that get out of your life this year, are actually going to be a blessing in disguise, and are going to open up the path for something better for you to come. You are going to clear the way from all the unneeded things, and leave your ways and your path just open, so you can continue moving towards where you want to be. So now Capricorns and the Tower. Okay, so the Three of Cups and the Tower. This can be, you know, again, cards that scare some a little bit, that are not necessarily negative. So the Tower for Capricorns, perhaps as well, it's time to reinvent yourself. And you know, when the Tower comes up, one thing that I always say is, do not cling to something no matter the cost, because if something is falling apart, perhaps it is time to just let it happen and just rebuild. It is going to be easier than trying to hold a structure that is no longer holding. So the Tower calls you to not resist the change, and you know, let things happen. Be ready for perhaps some things for having some things fall apart, but at the same time know that you are going to have the opportunity to rebuild it, and to rebuild it with a solid foundation, with a stronger foundation, with more experience and knowing what you are doing. So this as well says it is a great opportunity for you to modify the things that are not working. So if you are holding on to a business model that is not proving itself to work, perhaps it is time to think, okay, what can I do differently? Perhaps this business model that I have in mind doesn't work, but I can give up on this part, or this idea and this idea and this idea, and introduce this other and this other idea, and it will work that way. So be ready to make modifications on your in your life and in different areas of your life, and this will bring you movement, and this will help you continue on moving forward. Now Pisces, with the Ten of Wands. And okay, so Pisces, it is not the time for you to take on more than you can handle, and perhaps you will feel the temptation to carry your own burdens and then some from someone else. And do not make yourself responsible for the drama of others. Okay, you may feel overwhelmed enough with what you have going on in your life, and it is right, and it is not selfish to say, I cannot take anything more on my plate, I need to deal with what I have. As well, if you have been working towards a determined goal and you have been putting a lot of effort in there, what the Ten of Wands is telling me is that you are about to get there, and perhaps you just need one more, the final effort before you get where you want to be. So carry on. And last but not least, the Aquarius. And the Aquarius come with the Page of Swords, and basically, well, except for the Queen, all the Court of Swords has appeared here in this reading. And well, the Page of Swords is telling me that it is a good moment for you to start creating, particularly if you have a creation that is related to communication. For instance, you're considering writing, or starting a blog, a YouTube channel, whatever that deals with communication and with expressing yourself. It is a good moment for you to start doing this as well. This says journal, express yourself through your voice, express yourself through the ways that you have to communicate with others, and to speak your mind. This is a card of do not keep things for yourself that can be toxic in the long run, and focus on working on your own expression. This can be, this may not sound fascinating, but working on your expression and working on your communication abilities helps you really with lots of things. It helps you with your career when you have to convey an idea, when you have to speak to your superior to ask for something, when you have to deal with your co-workers. Working on your communication helps you have healthier relationships, romantic and non-romantic. It helps you resolve conflicts with your family, with your friends, with your partner. So working on your communication skills and your expression is really going to pay off for you, Aquarius. And well, this is basically the end of the TarotScope. Thank you very much if you have watched it this far. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you want to, or you are considering having a more personalized reading, I am available for you through text, live chat, video readings, and so are other wonderful readings here in my Tarot Advisor. Thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of your day, and see you next day. Bye!